Money Watch. The deadline for some American families to receive the enhanced child tax credit this year is rapidly approaching. Eligible households have until November 15th to sign up. Families have been receiving the enhanced monthly checks since the IRS began issuing them in July. But as CBS News Money Watch reporter Amy Peeke writes, there are some households that have slipped through the cracks. And Amy joins me now to talk more about this. Amy, welcome. So remind us, who qualifies for this child tax credit, and how have we seen these enhanced payments help eligible families?
Yeah, good question, Elaine. Well, these tax credits are available to most families with children 17 and under, and there are some income limits on it. To get the full enhanced tax credit, you have to earn either $75,000 or less as a single parent, or $150,000 or less as a married couple filing jointly. And after that, the payments decline somewhat in amount after that. But it's a huge amount of people who qualified for this. The IRS says they've sent over 60 million checks to parents of eligible children since they started this in July. So it's a huge amount. But even though so many people qualified, there are still some people who have fallen through the cracks, and that's what this deadline is about. It's about making sure that those people who haven't gotten those checks yet have a chance to register and can possibly get that payment before the end of the year and before this current tax credit expires.
So how much money could families receive if they sign up before the November 15th deadline? And Amy, is there a chance for eligible households to still receive the credit if they miss the deadline?
Yeah, excellent questions. So basically what will happen is if these households register by November 15th, they will get the half of the tax credit in one lump sum, probably in December. That's what the group that's helping people sign up to get this credit are telling me. There's no exact date, but they're saying it's probably in December. And it's going to be a lump sum of half of the total tax credit. It's going to be $1,800 for children under 6 and $1,500 for children who are 6 to 17. So for a lot of families, that's a lot of money to get in one lump sum. Most people who have qualified for it have gotten those payments on a monthly basis. So it's been a smaller amount every month. It's been $250 for older kids and $300 for younger kids. So that's kind of what could happen next month if people make that deadline by November 15th. And then you ask me, well, what happens if they miss that deadline? And that's another great question. And so the important thing to understand is that you haven't missed out on actually getting the tax credit. It's just going to be delayed. You can file to get that tax credit on your tax return in early 2022, and that will then deliver you the whole tax credit in one lump sum in the form of your tax refund. But the problem is that, those families are going to have to wait probably till March or April to get that money. So it's a little bit more of a delay, and I'm sure a lot of families could really use that money right now.
Yeah, it's still good to know that information, though, for those families who, maybe are not able to meet that deadline. Well, the IRS, we know, relies on tax returns to determine which families are eligible. What options are there for households who do not file taxes?
Yeah, so that's a great question, too, because these are the families that are falling through the cracks with this tax credit. As you mentioned, the IRS does rely on your tax return to determine if you qualify and also to know where to send the money. They have your address or your bank account if you file taxes and you're looking for a tax refund. But there are millions, there's an estimate about 4 million households that don't file taxes. And the reason why is because they earn too little to have to file taxes. Under tax law, if you don't earn enough, you don't have to file taxes. But the IRS then doesn't have information about them and can't send them those tax credits. And the Urban Institute had some a recent study about this, showing that only 5 in 10 families earning less than $25,000 a year got one of these child tax credits. That was considerably less than most families. So this is kind of the issue, why some people may not have gotten their child tax credit. So it's really important for those families to file to register to get this tax credit. To do that is a simplified tax form. So you're just going to need some basic information about yourself and your family, social security numbers, that kind of thing. And you can enter it online. It's called getctc.org. And it's a pretty simple process. And then, hopefully if all goes well, they would get that tax refund, or the tax credit, sorry, in December.
Well, where do lawmakers currently stand, Amy, on potentially extending the credit past 2021?
Yeah, so this is in discussions right now. It's been a matter of debate among lawmakers. The Biden administration had wanted it to extend through 2025. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Right now, they're talking about extending it for 1 year, but that bill hasn't been signed yet. It's in negotiation, so stay tuned. Keep your ears open for what will happen with that. But even 1 year, child advocates and anti-poverty advocates tell me even 1 year of an extension of this tax credit could be really helpful to millions of families that are still trying to get ahead after the pandemic.
All right, Amy Peeke, a lot of very important information. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you, Elaine.